So this video is going to quickly explain what is expected from you for our final assessment. First, one thing that I just want to point out is that these are our NGSS, or Next Generation Science Standards, that we are focusing on. By the end of this unit, you will be able to describe the characteristics of your organism and explain how your organism's adaptations allow it to survive in its environment. So the parts that are going to be in this project, one part is going to be completing research. This will be about biomes, adaptations, and food webs, so a lot of the topics we've already discussed in class. The second part, you will be applying your knowledge and designing an organism. This will also have peer and feedback from me on there, so you can make sure you're meeting all the requirements. The third part will be building your organism. So after you design it, you'll be building it. So you kind of need to start thinking about what materials you would want to use to build. The fourth part is going to be the presentation. So you are going to be presenting what you're designing, and there is a rubric that goes along with that. And finally, the last part of this assessment is going to be you reflecting and answering some questions by creating a Flipgrid. So I kind of found a really nice way to lay out all of the information for our assessment, and I created a HyperDoc for that, and that will be on Google Classroom, and it'll have all the information for your assessment on it. So if I actually go to the link and open the HyperDoc, for you this will be on Google Classroom. It'll be the first assignment that you'll see on your class, and it's basically laid out based on what part of the project you'll be working on. So after you watch this video today, you'll be starting the Engage section, and you'll be completing a web quest about adaptations, kind of to refresh yourself on the concepts we talked about last week. After that, you'll be completing your research by using the Diversity of Life research packet, and it's all linked into this HyperDoc. So if you click on it, there'll be a link that will open you to that part. Then there'll be the explain portion. There'll be another webcast in for this one, but this is really important because it has the rubric that you're going to be assessed on in it. So you can just click open that doc, and it lays out what I will be grading you on. So one part is research. So if you have complete research and have the details and create a constructive response that's really detailed, then you'll be gaining all the points in that section. If you complete your packet, so the creating your organism packet, and you have feedback and you give me revisions, then you will gain all the full points in that section. The appearance of your product will be assessed, your presentation, and that reflection on Flipgrid, depending on what you say in it, will also impact your grade as well. So a little bit of how this is going to look like. This is like an example I found of a sketch that someone did. You're going to have an opportunity to brainstorm what you want your organism to look like, the adaptations, and have the opportunity to label it and kind of describe what materials you're going to need to make it. And these are some final examples that I found that I thought were kind of cool. People actually modeled them, and they brought in clay and added feathers and kind of different colors to represent what their organism looked like. One thing that I just want you guys to remember is really make sure you're paying attention to the rubric and seeing what you're being assessed on, and that this project is going to be due June 8th. If you have any other questions about this assessment, just let me know. This is what we're going to be working on until the 8th.